Money, 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 Mondays. Money. Fall has flung. I've decorated my studio space to celebrate JB. Which JB, you ask? Is it Justin Bieber? Or is it our old pal, Jeff Bezos? Thanks again to a friend for gifting these currency sets, banknotes, and coins. I'm going to continue on with the Darwin Awards, or the animal-themed banknote collection. In the background, you'll hear a number of wild birds helping with background music. So, to correct the record, I completely fuck up the two Souths. South America and South Africa. I very well know the difference between the two. South America is a continent south of North America, and South Africa is a country on the continent of Africa, the very southernmost tip. Just beware that I do this. I think my brain just makes associations, and sometimes they're hard to break. For whatever reason, that's one of them. Another one is a friend's partner. I keep calling her jokingly now, but sometimes seriously, by the wrong name, because when I first met her, I just mixed up two names that sound very close to each other, and now it's a running joke. So it is what it is. That is me. The reason why the Darwin Award correction is in due course is because, again, I'm going to continue on with the animal-themed banknotes. The important thing to remember about Darwin is that I've actually traced a lot of his journey not by plane, but by the HMS Beagle. Yes, we'll have a number of manner of interruptions as always on our live vlogs, but that's what makes it live and that's what makes it fun. So, just to clarify again, yes, Darwin did travel quite a long circuit route. Last time, I mistakenly stated that he only visited Cape Verde in Africa, but he also visited Southern Africa, including that country I so like to mix up, South Africa. But he's probably best known for his work in South America, the continent, south of North America. And that's what I completely mixed up last time. His route. In any case, maybe I'll have a chance to correct myself. But I think most rational people know that you should really double check anything you hear from some random YouTuber on the internet, the random YouTuber being me. Even though I am an electrical engineer and a scientist, I'm still apt to make mistakes. I hold myself to as high a standard as I can manage, but I've often mentioned before that I basically speak off the cuff. I have no script. Every time I vlog, I'm vlogging off the top of my head, so I'm bound to make mistakes. And that's what you get for the live experience. Live means it's exciting, and mistakes can happen. So, we're going to continue on from last time, and This is another small note with very interesting script. Am I going to even wager a guess as to what this is? Let me think here. We have a mysterious tailed bird. I've trekked birds before, but the bird in question that I've trekked is mostly the flightless penguin. The penguin is endemic to South America, South Africa, Australia, New Zealand, and Antarctica. I've been lucky enough to trek all 7 genuses, including the rare yellow-eyed that mostly resides in New Zealand. But when I observed it, it was somewhere on the Antarctic Peninsula. That happens quite a lot, as much as the bird species have their homes in colonies. They also travel quite a lot. Other than being flightless, penguins are also known for their distinctive smell. They call it eau de penguin, and it's pretty nasty, but I'd say I'm nastier smelling. Okay, we've gone from a small note to an even smaller note, and we are really testing my understanding these wolves look actually relatively tame. The script is Eastern European to me, but I'll have to double check which country in particular. Again, from my use of gloves, you can tell that these are new, uncirculated bills from different countries that I'm having trouble IDing. I really am. I really am. Ooh. Off day. We've got an even smaller one. And I think it's from the same country as just now. because it has the same look, but this time with a bear on it. What is this country? Jeez. That's another thing that I'll probably make mistakes on, is that when I'm opening and live unboxing, I am just basically making educated guesses as to what these bills are. I weave my travel stories in when I can, but sometimes it's hard when I'm really at a loss. Again, my best guess is this is some sort of Eastern European country. This bear reminds me of the one that Dan Bilzerian might have interacted with on his Instagram. That's the thing. People get all hyped when Dan does it. Check my YouTube. Maybe I made that video private, but if I can find it again, I'll make it public. Dan's just basically copying me. Now here's the fun thing. Dan is a multi-millionaire, and he basically trades on wow factor, but the wow is easy when you have all that money. The wow's more impressive, in my opinion, when you gotta do everything he does but on a budget and still have a relatively good experience. This country's got several bills, because this country obviously likes animals. So, now I'm really curious, because none of them have given me an indication of what country. I mean, the indication is, I think that the script looks Eastern European, ex-Soviet bloc, but again, maybe we have a clue. No, we don't. The bills are getting smaller overall. But this country obviously likes its animals, including some sort of horned buffalo bison. I am really, really curious as to which country this is. Although this vendor has mailed many of these gift packages, their style's slightly different depending on the theme. So some themes come with an ordered list of what bills are included, and some come just as this package is indicated, which is just bills in a pouch. That has its level of fun, because then I can just go on a wild speculative guessing game. But I think my guesses are still relatively educated-ish, because I've been to many countries, I've handled many currencies, I've trekked many animals, and I've handled many animals. Okay. Would Discovery Channel's apex predator expert and Canadian Dave Salmoni be proud of me? Because I think I can ID this cat as being a serval, or serval-like. Maybe that'll cover me. From what I recall, a serval is the cat with the dramatic ears of extra length and pointiness, but part of the problem is that although the ears represent and recall a serval for me, the bearded chin is throwing me off. The bearded chin is interesting. That's a new one. So maybe it's more serval remnant rather than serval proper. Who knows? Hard to tell. This is, though, the same country of the last few bills that I've speculated are from Eastern Europe. Are they my favorite cat? One thing to remember is that some of these are artist renditions that maybe take some liberal license with depictions. Just from the word rupees, my guess would be this is from India. But the cat is interesting because it is cheetah looking. Cheetah, I bravely turned my back on in Namibia, and they made interesting sounds, guttural, behind me as they fed on raw, fresh meat. Why would I have the balls to turn my back on some cheetahs? Well, they're what you would call wild but habituated. The cheetah ranger was right behind me. Teaching them with a stick. I just watched a documentary with our favorite free solo climber, Alex Honnold, of the movie Free Solo. And he also pet some cheetahs in Namibia. So, in case people accuse me of acting amok with animals, I actually always do things above board, legally. That's because you actually have to respect the local rules and regulations in place. Animals are still wild when they're in the wild, and you have to respect that. As much as I sometimes think I'm a Dr. Dolittle, I know that animals are animals, and that I have to keep myself safe. Part of keeping myself safe is to listen to what they all say, the guides and the experts. Okay, I'm really confused, because I still think that this is that same country, or what's throwing me off is it Greek actually? Am I being confused by Greeks and ex-Soviet bloc? I'm having one of those brain fart days. Now actually some of this lettering looks Greek to me. But, no, I still think it's more Russian. Russian or Eastern European. I'm really gonna have to check. The eagle. We'll say it's Russian. The eagle Habib Nurmagomedov, back from retirement, since everybody keeps bothering him about that. He's back! He's back. Since we brought him up, he is rumored to be considering a 30-0 fight against my favorite fighter, Georges St. Pierre. If you were to ask me, GSP is #1 pound for pound. Because in order to be even considered, you have to be clean. Anybody who's popped, even if they popped by accident, I think they're out of the running. So that excludes Anderson Silva, and that excludes John Jones. But then, Habib would be in the running. He is perfect, but GSP is won in multiple weight classes. So that's why GSP has the edge. People who've been following my vlog, including the dance vlog, have actually seen this bill before. The 50 kwacha from Malawi. Was it the 50 kwacha actually? I definitely showed a bill from Malawi. I think it was the 50 kwacha. In any case, I showed kwacha from Malawi. Ugh. And obviously, someone wants to fight with me in terms of who can be louder, so we're just gonna have to deal with it. I've recalled several stories about elephants on safari. But oddly enough, one that I've missed is one that's become very popular on my YouTube. That's of a baby elephant frolicking about near mom. That's actually one of my favorite moments because those babies are so fucking cute. They really are. And a lot of times, maybe I'm thinking of animals with my human brain, but I really think that I observe human-like qualities from them. Won the round so far. More kwacha later. Okay, this is an Asian looking guy. So my guess is this is an Asian country, but these letterings are very confusing. They depict the relatively tame and domesticated horses. Are you coming back again, Mr. Blowing wind up my ass? Jesus. It is what it is. Live is live because it's live. Maybe someone would argue this person looks like me now with my new shaved head. I've been asked many times now about my shaved head, including family friends contacting my mom asking what's going on. What's going on is that this is the most comfortable hairstyle I've ever had. It might be something that I keep for a while. First, because it takes a while to grow it out, even if I so wanted it to grow out. But really, the comfort outweighs everything. I'm gonna be real with you. And end on another kwacha, but this time from the country of Zambia. Zambia is another eagle-looking animal. Or it might even be a vulture, actually. I'm trying to recall what kind of birds of this size I trekked in Africa. Zambia's an interesting country bordering Zimbabwe, and they share Victoria Falls. Ooh. A number of excursions in Victoria Falls are highlights of a lifetime. But one of them is a pain in the fucking ass. It's called riding a microlight, and you can only really do it from the Zambia side. That I've decided to save to another time and do the helicopter instead. Because at the time that I would have ridden that helicopter, I mean the microlight, I would have had to cross borders back and forth and pay for the fees again, making the microlight experience way more expensive than it's worth. I think having the high view at Victoria Falls by any means is good enough. That means including by helicopter. And I think by helicopter was enough of an adventure. Part of my MO in adventure is that I definitely like to do things that are new and unique, but I also have to be strategic because there's always something nasty called the budget that you have to keep to. The budget is a fucking annoying thing. I mentioned Dan Bilzerian before. He's the modern day young Hugh Hefner, and he has an easy time of it because he has the money. But people like me, I actually have to budget and be strategic with the pot that I have. And that necessitates me making good decisions instead of just blowing my wad on any old excursion. If I were to do that, I'd only be able to do very few. Versus if I'm strategic, I can actually eventually do everything I want without feeling like I'm compromising. That's what keeps me going during this fucking pandemic. The fact that I still have so much more to do.